Chiwenga takes control of the military amid CAB3 in parliament. The debt that's come due. Zimbabwe. To understand what's unfolding in Zimbabwe right now, you have to go back to November 2017. It was Chiwenga, then commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, who led the military intervention that removed Robert Mugabe from power. Right? Tipupa mzindo wevanu. Ndinu wenyu super galo, super. Pano. Zuzurguitika muri Zimbabwe. Right? The deal was simple. Pakatogwa power na Chiwenga kubva kuna Mugabe. And unspoken, but understood by everyone in the room. Mnangagwa would serve 2 terms and then step aside for the men who made it all possible. Now, as Mnangagwa's allies push for an extension of that arrangement, that promise is falling apart and threatening to destabilize the nation once more. CAB3, the bill that started the war. The draft Constitutional Amendment number 3, Bill of 2026, is the primary weapon of what insiders call the 2030 Agenda. The bill proposes 2 radical changes, extending presidential terms from 5 to 7 years and shifting the election of the president from a direct popular vote to selection by parliament. If passed, these changes would effectively delay the 2028 general elections until 2030. CAB3 was read in Parliament on Tuesday, Nezuro, by Justice Minister Ziyambi, with the first and second readings set to be fast-tracked on Wednesday, NAS, paving the way for debate in the House of Assembly. The analysis is blunt. This is not neutral reform. It is a precision strike aimed at Chiwenga's timeline. Under the current constitution, Mnangagwa must step down in 2028, and Chiwenga's entire strategy has been anchored to that date. Now, the retired generals draw their line. Just as CAB3 hit the floor of parliament, the military establishment fired back, not from the barracks, but from the podium. Retired Air Marshal Henry Muchena has warned members of parliament and senators against supporting CAB3, saying history will judge lawmakers who back the proposed changes at the expense of the constitution. The electorate is watching. History is watching. Every Zimbabwean will remember those who chose personal enrichment over constitutional duty, Muchena said. This group of retired military generals and senior civil servants petitioned Parliament against the bill, arguing that the amendments undermine the principles of the liberation struggle and the people's electoral rights. The accusations escalated quickly. Muchena alleged that over $31 million had been set aside to purchase loyalty from legislators in preparation for voting in the House of Assembly and Senate, and that vehicles and cash payments had already been distributed to MPs to secure their support. Mnangagwa's response: whoever wins, wins. Mnangagwa. The retired generals say they met with President Mnangagwa on May 18 and 19 to raise their concerns. And those meetings produced nothing. When they warned him of the dangers, including the alienation of citizens from the constitutional order, his response was 4 words: whoever wins, wins. So it's actually 3 words. The group says that response lays bare the contempt with which the constitutional concerns of citizens and members of our party are regarded at the highest level of executive authority, and that CAB3 is a personal and political project of a cabal. Its passage serves narrow individual interests, not the national interest. Right. Chiwenga's play, the military still belongs to him. While Mnangagwa has been scrambling to reshape the military hierarchy, Chiwenga has been quietly consolidating what he already owns. Mnangagwa controls the party and the intelligence networks, but Chiwenga still has significant support within the military and war veteran groups. According to sources within the Zimbabwean diaspora, Chiwenga also has the support of many traditional leaders in rural areas. Over the past several months, a series of seismic developments, spanning legislative maneuvers, high-stakes military appointments, and raw displays of patronage capital have profoundly disrupted the succession matrix. Mnangagwa tried to counter this by reshuffling the top brass. He retired ZDF commander Philip Valerius Banda and replaced him with General Emmanuel Matatu. General Matatu had only been elevated to his previous position in March after Mnangagwa removed Lieutenant General Anselm Sanyatwe, a close ally of the vice president. But analysts say it isn't working. Zimbabwean politics remains deeply unpredictable, and military loyalty can shift overnight when interests realign. These security reshuffles reveal Mnangagwa's belief that controlling the military hierarchy is essential for his bid to stay beyond the constitutional two-term limit. But even with these changes, he faces enormous obstacles. History backs the skepticism. Zimbabwe's history shows that there are no permanent loyalties in our politics, only permanent interests. Mugabe learned this the hard way in 2017 when those he believed were his most loyal allies engineered his removal. The same dynamics still apply today. The war veterans, from kingmakers to rebels. The war vets, who in 2017 cheered the coup that brought Mnangagwa to power, have now turned on him. Veterans of Zimbabwe's liberation war, historically strong ZANU-PF supporters, have been among the most strident critics of the bill. They have cast the term extension as a betrayal of both the liberation ideals they fought for and the reasons that drove them to support Mugabe's removal in 2017. On 13 May 2026, war veterans filed a constitutional challenge in Zimbabwe's constitutional court against President Mnangagwa and the Attorney General, arguing that CAB3 cannot lawfully proceed without a referendum and that the process violates Section 328 of the Constitution. A faction of the Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association in Mashonaland West broke ranks, calling for a national referendum, warning that the extension and amendment must be approved by the people, invoking the liberation struggle's enduring principle of one man, one vote. The ghost of 2017 hangs over everything. Political observers say the battle over CAB3 is rapidly becoming a high-stakes succession war that could reshape Zimbabwe's future or plunge the country deeper into political turmoil. Sources within the corridors of power suggest that the rift between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga has never been wider. Chiwenga's camp is reportedly insisting on the sanctity of the 2013 constitution, and the vice president is said to view CAB3 as a betrayal of the transition agreement that brought Mnangagwa to power in the first place. Some factions within the military and Chiwenga's supporters have even begun invoking the term Third Chimurenga, a potential uprising or correction aimed at saving the party from what they describe as capture by Mnangagwa's business associates. The risk is that Chiwenga will come to see a forceful gambit as the only route to reach a position he feels he is owed. Should Mnangagwa decide to remove his deputy, as some in his circle have reportedly been pushing for, Chiwenga may feel backed into a corner and forced into action. The bottom line, Zimbabwe is watching a 2017 replay in slow motion. The same general, the same war veterans, the same military establishment, only this time Chiwenga isn't standing behind Mnangagwa. He is standing against him, and the parliament is about to decide which way this breaks. Mre Zimbabwe, tiripo pano pamuzinda wevanhu, ndini wenyu Supergalo. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Peace.